Okay, I guess there's nobody to make rise. That's not really worth it, is it? Oh, we got to stand for the national anthem. Yeah, well, you got it recorded, don't you? We'll start our meeting tonight. Of course, tonight our meeting of Tuesday, March 3rd. That's the minutes. There we go. Of Tuesday, April the 2nd. Of course, this is a special meeting of council. And I'm assuming we've got all of our techie people in place, and they've got this all being recorded. Of course, we just had our in-camera meeting downstairs, and now we're going to have our open session. So we're going to start off, as we always do, with O Canada, and I believe, Mr. Clerk, we've got a recorded version that we're going to do this time. And if not, Councillor Thompson is those at home watching the council meeting. I do want to let them know that most of our staff are in other rooms watching this through Zoom, one of the platforms people are using these days to conduct meetings. Council has passed a motion last meeting that we are able to, through our procedural bylaw, go to an electronic version of this meeting, and we're encouraging councillors to take advantage of this new platform that we have. There are some challenges that we're working through, and we're encouraging everyone to take full advantage of it. The room has been fully sanitized with microbial spray as well. Everybody has been questioned at the door by the fire chief and made sure that no one is sick or been exposed to sick people or been away. As well, we've got these doTERRA diffusers with essential oils for purifying the air and killing certain germs. So we've taken all possible precautions as well. You'll notice physical distancing between all of us has been respected and observed. So the goal is by our next meeting, we'll have more people able to participate from another location and still work through the different glitches. I know we've had challenges around the region, but we'll get there. It takes getting used to, and I know that our IT staff are up to the challenge as well. So I just want to thank everybody for their patience and for their efforts to make sure that we all do our part to crush the curve. And of course, the three main points of the platform, of the slogan, are to wash and disinfect, to keep your physical distances, and to stay home as much as possible. And although City Hall is considered an essential service, we still need to do our part and minimize the amount of times that we leave our houses as well. So having said that, we're going to start off with the adoption of the minutes from two meetings, March the 3rd and March the 20th of this year. Moved by Councillor Pietrangelo and seconded by Councillor Thompson. All those in favor? Okay, that's approved. Thank you. On to disclosures. Do we have any disclosures of a pecuniary interest of anyone on council? Okay, seeing none, we can move along to our presentation portion of the council meeting. And for those at home, you'll know that we're using WeStream live streaming right now for our meetings. They've been doing a terrific job, and we appreciate them helping us through this time too, because the public do want to know what's happening at their city, and the city's been very active and engaged. I can't even begin to tell you how much work is going on. Our staff has been outstanding, and you know, and I'm going to ask our CAO, Ken Todd, if he'll give a presentation. Of course, he can't talk about everything, but he can certainly hit the high points of what we've been up to, and the residents will be that much more informed. So, Mr. Todd, whenever you're ready.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to give you an update. We provided an update to council 2 weeks ago, but this is a situation, as everybody knows, it's changing by the day, sometimes by the hour. So I'm going to try to just give you a bit of a highlight. Council should be aware of most of this because we've had it out in council updates, but I'm just going to run through it anyway. So our emergency operations center has been active for almost 2 weeks straight now. We've been doing our EOC meetings daily, sometimes twice daily, to meet around the table and discuss all the various issues facing us, and we continue to do that 7 days a week. So some essential service updates for you. Recently this past week, our bylaw officers and building department staff have continued to be issuing permits and trying to do the best they can to keep that part of the economy rolling. But through the police chief, Niagara Regional Police Chief, we've been authorized to be out assisting them with enforcement of some provincial rules. And that would be related to the gathering of 5 people or more, and also with respect to social distancing. So our staff have been going around to our municipal parks. They've been visiting businesses that are on the non-essential list that are open. And we're taking a warning approach. We're trying to educate people. We're finding that when we do approach people, we're getting pretty good cooperation, and we hope that continues. There is a bylaw on the agenda tonight that allows for additional city staff to be added to that list so that our park supervisors and our transit supervisors can be educating, issuing warnings to gatherings either at transit hubs or in our parks or other public facilities. Now there was a mandate from the province, came out on price gouging. We have circulated information. It is on our website. So anybody that does have a complaint, there's numbers there that they can call and lodge that complaint. It's a provincial number. It's a 1-800 number. So if you're looking for that, it's under our frequently asked questions on our website. Fire continues to be in full operation. There is becoming a bit of an issue with protective personal equipment. We've actually provided some of ours to Niagara EMS with respect to masks, simply because they're running short. So we have provided some of our supply to them. In the parks area, we have closed all of our facilities within parks. We've extended that to the dog park, to Oaks Park running track, all basketball, tennis courts. There's signage out on all of those facilities. We have signed all of signed all of our trails with social distancing, and that patrolling of that is ongoing by our staff. Water and wastewater, we continue to be out addressing emergencies. We're handling that quite nicely now with the staff. As I indicated to you before, we've divided the staff up into groups so that they are self-isolating amongst those groups, where they are able to go on a rotating schedule and provide services. We just did not want to be in a situation where the staff would be all in together and have the unfortunate situation where they may all have to self-isolate at once. So that's the reasoning behind that. Other essential services we continue to provide are burials, obviously all of our road condition assessments and trying to keep up with pothole repairs, building inspection, as I indicated, and capital projects. In the planning realm, right now, all of our public meetings on the Planning Act are suspended. We're having discussions to find a way to accommodate those as we move forward over the next few months. And the couple of LPAT hearings, just for the public's information, Thompson Road and our vacation rental LPAT hearings have been postponed for the time being. Niagara Falls Transit, things here continue to change, it seems, almost on a daily basis with updating schedules. We did make a change last week that we felt was fairly significant to service some of the segment of the population that needed access to Project Share and some of the grocery stores in the north part of the community. So we put on a separate route that is a modification of our 108 route that provides service starting at 9:30 in the morning and running till 9 p.m. at night. And as ridership dictates, we'll be looking at further service changes as needed. We made changes to the WeGo service as well. The blue line was suspended temporarily, and we've made changes to the red route, the red line, where it now is no longer going to Table Rock. It's circling down through the tourist core and coming right back up and servicing along the Lundy's Lane spine. We have implemented rear door boarding. That's been working very well. In the Niagara Falls terminal for intercity buses, even though ridership is down significantly there as well, the terminal hours are still 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. So some of the payment relief measures we've gone through before, and I don't really want to repeat them, but they are being well received. We are taking numerous calls from the public that are calling in through our switchboard and to our finance department, who are handling all of those inquiries related to tax payments and water bill payments. There's a couple things that are new that council should be aware of, and the public, that the Niagara District School Board has delayed their remittance of payments by the city for 90 days for their June payment and 90 days for their September payment. The other thing that the city has done to help out the tourism sector is, in keeping with the 90-day delay on tax penalties, we have delayed the remittance of any municipal accommodation tax payments to June 30th as well. And again, these relief measures will be reviewed as we get closer to that June deadline date, and that was very well received by the Hotel Association. The Minister of Finance has delayed or postponed the property tax reassessment, which was set for this year. It's the 4-year cycle on reassessment. That's been pushed off for 1 year. And just a bit of clarification when we talk about penalty and interest. So what we have done is we have delayed penalty payments on current year, so that's 2020. When you talk about interest, it's only done on arrears or previous years. We have not done that. We are only talking about penalties on current year, meaning 2020 penalties on taxes and water. If I just slip by that one, I think I'll just run through this quickly. I know Mr. Fellows said he ran through this, but I can tell you that we're continuing to work through with the Economic Rapid Response Team. I believe that their survey has concluded. They are compiling information that will be submitted to the provincial levels of government to assist with our small businesses throughout Niagara Falls and the Niagara region, because most of the municipalities were participating in this, to give us a bit of a step up to help all of our small businesses to get the funding that they need and deserve at this time. So the next thing that we've talked about last time is the declaration of emergency. There's certain components there that, again, need to be addressed. That's something that council may want to have further dialogue on. I will say that what we're looking for at this point in time is just really a motion just to ratify the actions that we've taken to date, even though that council was so kind in having us approve the delegation authority. I feel it's necessary just to circle back once some of those decisions have been made, just to have council ratified. And so, Mr. Mayor, we'd be looking for a motion to that effect on the measures we've taken up to place to this date.
Okay, got a motion by Councillor Carrion and seconded by Councillor Dabrowski that council move to accept and endorse the decisions that have been made so far by the EOC. If there's no discussion to that, we'll call the vote. All those in favor? And that's unanimous. Thank you, Mr. CAO.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I just leave you with leaving where we, oh, I'm sorry.
I just want to point out that we do have Councillor Ioannoni online, so just for the record, in order to declare that unanimous, I'm going to turn her microphone on. I see that it's on, and we should get a verbal vote from Councillor. Councillor Ioannoni?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, Bill, if you could just explain very briefly, on this right side, it has more, and it says raise your hand. So I have to do two things. I had pushed that for conflict of interest, and I don't think you knew that. So for under conflict of interest, I'd like to declare for the March 20th meeting, PD 2020-13. And in regard to this motion, just one question, are we supposed to be able to see you?
Just to explain, once the CEO is finished with this presentation, I will remove that off the screen, and then I believe you will likely be able to see what's going on in the room as well through WeStream. I don't know how many screens you have at home, but you may have to use another screen to watch the WeStream video in order for you to see what's going on here at Council Chambers.
So you don't come up on Zoom?
No.
Okay, I didn't, because there's a spot here for you, and I thought we would see you. So can I speak to this declaration of emergency?
The mayor has already called the vote, so I just unmuted your mic so that we could hear how it is you're voting on this matter.
And so I did have my raise my hand button. So we're voting now to approve the actions taken to date, and then can I speak?
Well, that would be a decision through the chair.
So what I'm going to do, Councillor, is I'm going to be speaking specifically to that item after we approve this.
And right now we're just voting to approve actions taken to date.
Correct.
Okay, I approve.
And Mr. Mayor, I'll just leave you and then I'll sit down. What we're looking at is reconvening in 2 weeks' time. We're going to have another meeting of council on April 21st at 1 o'clock. And what we will do then is we will be bringing further additional measures and service level changes looking past the April 30th timeline. And at that time, we're hoping to consider the utility budget, which the finance director is currently putting together. And we hope that within the next 4 weeks, we will bring back more fulsome discussion and recommendations related to all of the financial matters that are relating to the budget and other financial considerations that we're facing as we're going through this pandemic.
Great.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
Mr.
very
Mayor.
much, Mr. CAO.
What date was that, 2 weeks?
The 21st.
21st?
Yeah. It's actually, is that 3 weeks? I think that's 3 weeks. 2.5, okay. Okay, moving
1
on.
o'clock, I'm sorry.
What's that?
That's at 1.
Yes,
Thank you.
it's at 1 o'clock. So as part of the mayor's reports and announcements, I have two parts to it. The first part, I'm going to talk about the declaration of state of emergency, and then I'll do my regular council notes. So the first part, there's been a lot of discussion around the idea, if whether it's a good idea or not a good idea, to declare a state of emergency in a municipality where the province is already declared. And I want to tell you the research and discussions we've had, and I'm going to make a recommendation to you and hopefully get your endorsement. And I'm going to give you a little bit of background. The objective here, folks, is not to have a long, protracted discussion on this. I think we need to make sure we keep the message clean and clear for the public. There's a lot of misinformation out there in a lot of ways, And it doesn't help. Social media, although it's got a lot of wonderful sides to it, it's got some bad sides to it too. And we've got some concerns in the community. And I can tell you this comes from our mental health experts, that a lot of people are very stressed. They're anxious. They're nervous. These are uncertain times that are unprecedented in history. And there is no COVID pandemic book for dummies yet that we can utilize. So a lot of this, as we're going, we're learning. But the good news is no decisions are made in isolation. They're all made in consulting with all other experts, public health, emergency experts, and community leaders as well, at all levels of government. So the discussion has been happening at our municipal level with all the mayors and the chair. And there's been a lot of discussions and a lot of points on both sides of the spreadsheet on whether we go and make the declaration or whether we don't. And the good side and the downside to what we do if we do it. So there was a lot of debate again yesterday on our most recent call with the mayors and the chair. And last night, I had a very good discussion with Tom Stewart. Tom Stewart is the CEO of Niagara Health and St. Joe's in Hamilton. He's a great leader in our health as well. He sits on the provincial command table for healthcare for the province. So he's working with the people at the top, and we've spoken quite a few times about this, and we had a great talk last night. And part of the dilemma was some communities want to declare and some do not want to declare. And there's very interesting points on both sides, but the problem is when you have a mixed message, you confuse the public. And unfortunately, the public, when they're confused, they don't always make good decisions, and they're looking to us to give them steady, consistent leadership. We're asking everyone, all the mayors, all the politicians, to put your egos in your back pockets, and hopefully we all go toward the greater good. And we don't want a politically driven decision, but a public health driven decision by the experts and the leaders in the health field. And this message mostly concerns the 5% of the people who are not following protocols that have been established by the experts. And I want to say this, I put out a video yesterday and thanking all the 95% of the people who are doing a terrific job. They're really being respectful, they're honoring the protocols, and they're doing their very best. And they're trying to stay home as much as possible. They're washing and sanitizing, and they're keeping physical distances. Now, folks, that doesn't mean that you hide in your basement. That is not at all what that means. You've got an immune system that you need to take care of, and a lot of us who have had compromised immune systems understand the importance of a healthy immune system. And that involves exercise, sunshine, fresh air, rest, nutrition, and as low stress levels as possible. And that means people are going to be out and about with the weather getting nice, and that's fine, and that's what you should be doing. Walk your dog, but do it with physical distancing. Don't gather. Make sure that you're respectful of what's in place, and maybe you feel that you're bulletproof. Well, not everybody else is. And your decision will affect many other people. So it's not about you. It's about everybody else. Unfortunately, the message is not getting through to everybody. It's getting through to 95%, but not to everybody. And that small group of people who refuse to follow along with protocol are the ones that we're trying to mostly reach right now. And I said most people are doing a great job. We can still do better, but let's try to get the message out to everybody. And that doesn't mean yelling at your neighbor. That doesn't mean talking about them in social media. That doesn't mean embarrassing. It means having a discussion and saying, listen, a lot of people have said to me, I realize it's not about me. It's about my elderly parents, or it's about my, newborn grandkids, or whatever the case may be. You can't think of just yourself. Think about all the other people who you come into contact. And know that people are watching you to see what you do. People will watch and mimic what you do more than what you say. So there is a municipal discussion going on right now about a declaration, because a municipal declaration during a provincial state of emergency is largely symbolic in nature. It doesn't give us any more money. It doesn't give us any more powers. But the key is that we have, as our fire chief has said, and our fire chief is our expert in emergency management, has said, number one rule in emergency management is one message, one voice. And the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing reiterated that there will be no benefits withheld from cities that don't declare. They've made that clear to us a number of times, and yet they're very concerned about the anxiety that goes along with declarations. And although not all of the municipalities believe that a declaration is the best decision, for the sake of making the best of the situation and taking a team approach with a common goal. And as we said, the number one rule of emergency management, one message, one voice. I'm asking this council to support the idea that I've already put past our EOC just today, that we go along with the rest of the municipalities in the region and we declare as one with one voice. This is the result of support from Tom Stewart, and this, I think, weighs most heavily in this decision here in Niagara. And as I mentioned, he's the CEO of the Niagara Health System, St. Joe's, and he's on the provincial command table. He believes now would probably be the most appropriate time to declare. And he said the coming weeks are going to be our biggest challenge, the next 2 to 3 weeks. We currently have outbreaks in our nursing homes, the most vulnerable amongst us. And typically they deal with influenza in the nursing homes. Well, now they got a double whammy. They've got influenza and they've got COVID-19 this time around. What he said to me is, this is not a call to panic. This is a call to action. This is an opportunity to pivot the message. And he said, I'm going to ask the chair and the mayors change the message, that this declaration will include things like, and this more will come out as the declaration is official from the region. You'll hear more details on timing from the region. That you call at least 5 people every day who are in isolation and reach out to them and help them and talk to them. A lot of people just need a calm, friendly voice during these challenging times. That you reach out to people who are over 70, who are asked not to go grocery shopping, and pick up their groceries for them and drop them off at their front porch, or whatever incidentals that they need. In the coming months, maybe offer to cut their grass or ask what they need done so they're not stressing about things that they're being asked not to do. He's asking the public to help with making masks. He calls peace of mind masks. And just so the record is clear, who should be wearing masks, and this comes from our healthcare professionals, sick people should be wearing masks. If you don't feel well, he said you should wear a mask. He said they don't have to be N95 masks. He said it'd be equivalent to coughing or sneezing into your elbow. Peace of mind masks, anyone who has access to fabric and sewing machines, they can make them, and the Niagara Health System will help coordinate the effort to get them out to people. If you feel sick or compromised, don't go out, first of all. But if you're worried, you're not sure, wear a mask just in case if you must absolutely go out. He's asked that we empower the people to help everybody be part of the solution, because making masks can be cathartic for a lot of people. It gives them an opportunity to contribute and to help with the problem. Instead of panicking, they can help other people in the same way that a lot of people knit and crochet for people that are getting chemotherapy who are losing their hair, and these people will make hats and different things for people, and they drop them off at the hospital for people that are getting their chemotherapy. So he said in that same regard, that's what he's going to pivot this message around to be. And for the sake of one message, one voice, and for the message of team approach, I'm asking this council to support the idea. And I know it's been pointed out that it's the mayor or lieutenant governor or premier who makes this declaration. I'm asking you to share in the decision that we go forward again with that message of one voice and one message, that you support the declaration and be part of a regional declaration, that we go out together with the pivoting message of Tom Stewart. And so that concludes my comments right now. Thank you. Motion by Councillor Pietrangelo and second by Councillor Strange. And I'm asking that we try to keep our comments to a minimum. So if there are no other comments to this motion and these comments, I'll call the vote. All those in favor? And Mr. Clerk?
Yeah, I've lost my connection here. I'm not sure if the councillor at home can hear, but a simple raise of her hand might give us her indication of how she's voting.
I don't know if she can hear you.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't unmute her mic.
Okay. So that's unanimous for all the council members in attendance. Pardon me? I don't know what she said. Did she have a sign? I can't. In favor? Oh,
Okay, she's unmuted now.
I can't hear him.
you can hear you. Does she?
Councillor Ioannoni, your mic is on.
In favor? Did we call the vote?
You hear him?
She can't hear you. What's Tiffany's saying something too. She's saying.
Sean's working on it, I think.
Am I the only one who can't hear him?
Sean's working on it. Okay. Well, I'm going to move forward to my mayor's announcements because everyone can follow on WeStream. I believe, is the WeStream connection still on, Mr. Clerk?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
WeStream's good.
So we're gonna have meetings with all of us,
It keeps disconnecting and then restarting.
That's why I'm glad we're having a bit of a trial. And I can tell you at the region, councillors, we had challenges. It crashed a couple of times. It was far from easy. And I'm going to tell you what they've told us. It's because there's a massive increase in bandwidth because everybody's going to these meetings, corporations, everybody, and there's not enough. As a matter of fact, Netflix has reduced the resolution to help with the bandwidth because everyone's on Netflix now too, and on Crave and all the different online streaming movie platforms. So I'm going to go on to the mayor's, and of course this is everybody's favorite part of the meeting, the mayor and council's updates and announcements. So first off, we'll start with birthdays. I'd like to wish Councillor Dabrowski a happy birthday. His birthday was a couple days ago. Happy birthday, Councillor. Also in a couple of weeks, a little less actually, week and a half, we've got Ken Todd, our CAO. His birthday is coming up, so happy birthday in advance. I had to remind you. And also to Councillor Ioannoni, who's the day after yours, Mr. CAO. So happy birthday to all those. Obituaries, unfortunately, we do have to report some. Salvatore Sam DiCarlo, uncle to Councillor Pietrangelo and Anita Pietrangelo, father-in-law to Michael Newport of our Recreation and Culture Department, and to Dave McLean of our Municipal Works Department. We offer our condolences to you and to your families. A lot of nice comments I saw online about Sam. Everybody likes Sam. And I sat in his kitchen and had espresso and eaten some cookies before too, along with Councillor Thompson. So he cut your hair too. Oh, okay, wow, and yours too. Okay, good. Also, Cindy Carroll, a daughter of former city employee Laura Carroll. Linda Ward, wife of former city councillor Bruce Ward, recently passed away. Mavis Harris, grandmother of Tiffany Clark, our director of finance, and to Tiffany, our condolences to you and your family as well. And Hilda Fair, member of the Mayor's Accessibility Advisory Committee, who passed on as well. So we pass our condolences along to them and their families. Just briefly on the COVID-19 brief update, Crush the Curve. I know I just gave the update and we just voted on the direction of the declaration of emergency. We just want to we just had a great and thorough update by our CAO, and thank you for that, Mr. CAO, and thank you to our CAO and our EOC, Emergency Operations Center Command, for all the hard work they do. Every single day, 7 days a week, we meet online through Zoom We discuss everything, and we go out and reach out to all other EOCs, to public health, to other transits, other municipal works departments, other treasurers groups. A lot of hard work goes into this. This is by no means easy. Our CAO is making it look easy, but it's not easy. It's difficult. We're dealing with emotions. We're dealing with people having breakdowns, both in the public and elsewhere. It's not easy. And as I said, there is no manual for dealing with something like this. They're doing a great job. And we've all rallied behind Crush the Curve. And I wanted to re-explain to council, that came about from a local Niagara Falls company who makes apparel for sports groups. And he had a number of Brock interns working in his building, and they wanted to do something more because they said, we're trying to flatten the curve, but the problem is it's not flattening. And what else could we do? And they said, we didn't plank the curve, was too light. We need something aggressive. They came up with Crush the Curve, which I thought from a marketing standpoint was brilliant. And then they made up shirts for all the mayors to wear for a picture, which the mayors did do and the chair did do pictures of. And they said other people asked for them as well. So the mayors, we all paid out of our own pockets. We left envelopes in our mailboxes for these shirts being delivered. We did a picture. And they said other people wanted them as well. We had firefighters wanting them. We had other emergency personnel that wanted them. So they made them available. And they said all proceeds will go to local charities, including Pathstone Mental Health, Niagara Health Foundation, and United Way. But we realized we didn't want a distraction of merchandise, so they dropped the .ca and we pivoted again. And folks, this is all about pivoting. Every day we have to pivot when we get new information. Every day we're pivoting with new information. So it's now hashtag Crush the Curve. And under that comes three main messages. Stay at home as much as possible, wash and sanitize, and keep your physical distances. If you want to use the idea of 2 meters, I know Councillor Lococo has said a moose distance apart. I've heard certain people say it's a hockey stick apart, it's a guitar apart. I heard Heather here in our clerk's department say 2 grocery buggies apart. I mean, whatever makes it simple for you to know the distance, just do it. I want to thank our CAO along with Chief Boudelier, our head of our Emergency Operations Center, and all the staff who've been working around the clock on this crisis and our responses to our community. The area mayors who are helping send out the message. It takes all of us working together to be able to crush this curve. And I love what Tom Stewart said at the Niagara Health. He said, we're all frontline. Every one of us is frontline because we're frontline to the public. So we're all in this together. I want to thank all the healthcare workers, first responders, grocery store clerks, pharmacy employees, transit drivers, the delivery and postal service, volunteers, all of our city employees delivering essential services, and to everyone here on council, in the media, everyone that's helping us get the message out to the public. It's a simple message, but for some reason it's not getting through to some people. So we just have to keep hammering, crush the curve. Thank you to all the residents who are following the protocols and following the rules. We really appreciate it. We know it's not easy. We know you're climbing the walls. We know there are people that deal with a lot of challenges, and it might be spousal abuse, it might be all sorts of challenges. And we empathize with all the people that have had to deal with exacerbated problems in light of what's going on in our public. And for that, we thank you. You know, we've got a really valuable part of our city's website. It's the FAQ, Frequently Asked Questions. And we update it, thank you, Councillor. We update it and we pivot constantly. And I want to thank Dale Morton and her team who are doing such a great job at keeping that, in our IT department, who are doing a terrific job keeping it updated. So as you ask questions, we post the question and the answer. Because if you're asking it, you're probably not the only person wondering. And you don't want to wait for City Hall to open to get an answer. You can go 24/7 on that page, and I'm sure 98% of your questions are answered there. And for the rest that aren't, get them to us. We will get you answers.
It's great how they're all laid out as headings, and then you just click the arrow, and then the answer's on.
Thanks for that, Councillor, that you've been on the page, and I agree. I've gotten such positive feedback. Other municipalities are mimicking. They say imitation is the greatest form of flattery. So that's terrific that it's being so well utilized. It's great information there on everything about city services, from paying your bills to specific questions on relief of taxes to provincial price gouging hotlines. It's a real great resource for our community to get the right answers. You don't always have to go to social media and ask everybody. Go right there and get the answers correct. And I'll give you an example. I had people today asking me, we saw a post that the Niagara Parkway was closed down. You know, and it's not true. It's not closed down. It's open. But things like this, and then it spreads around social media, and it sends out the wrong, confusing message. We're trying to centralize the messaging. One message, one voice. So that FAQ, I think, is one of our most excellent resources. And as well, bylaw services. If you see people gathering in groups, all you need to do is call City Hall during business hours. And I put it on my video on my Facebook page. And before the end of this call, I'd like to get an update on what that extension is for, if you can help me, Mr. Clerk, the number for our bylaw services, what that extension is, and the email, so we can share that right now. I want everybody that's tuning in to be aware of these. I put them on my video. If you go to my Facebook page, and as well Instagram and Twitter. And I think, yes.
I wrote them down.
Oh, thank you.
Extension 4253 or extension 4341.
Okay, so say them one more time, Councillor.
4253
4253
or 4341.
or 4341. And do you have the email address for outside of business hours? Mr. Clerk, hopefully you can find that.
Mr. Mayor, I've got it here.
Okay, here we go. The CAO has it.
So, Mr. Mayor, anybody can email us. It's just buildingcomplaints@niagarafalls.ca. Building complaints, all one word, @niagarafalls.ca.
Thank you for that, Mr. CAO. And the nice thing is, you can do that during business hours or after business hours. It will be monitored continuously. So if you have a group and they insist on playing basketball at one of our parks, you can call that in. And our bylaw guys will go down there and deal with it. They're working in tandem with our police department, and we've had to deputize some extra people to make sure that we're staying on top of it, getting the message out. And by and large, I will tell you, I talked to our head of bylaw yesterday. He said people are great. They understand, they dispense and disperse immediately. They understand the importance of it. Some of them get carried away with being cooped up and the nice weather, but they understand it sends the wrong message to the rest of the people. It's not okay. It's not okay now during these times. So thank you for that. Okay, moving along, Mr. Clerk, on our agenda, I want to thank Council for your support and your cooperation. We'll move along to the report section of our agenda, 7.1. Okay, moved by Councillor Thompson, second by Councillor Carriot, that we receive the information and support the electronic participation at city council meetings. Obviously, we've got a few glitches to work out, but we're on it, we're working on it. We'll call that vote. All those in favor? Okay, thank you.
And Councillor Ioannoni voted in favor.
Okay, terrific. Thank you for that. Item 7.2, Station 5 parking lot report.
Are you looking for us to pick an option? If so, I'll move option 3.
Okay. We've got a motion by Councillor Pietrangelo that we go with option 3. Thank you for that. And seconded by Councillor Thompson. If there's no discussion to that, we'll call the vote. All those in favor? Okay, and that's approved. Thank you unanimously. And do we've got Councillor Ioannoni as well? Thank you. Thank you for that. 7.3, 2% parkland dedication. There are 2 recommendations for Council's consideration. Number 1, that the recommendation change the parkland dedication bylaw as outlined, and secondly, that staff be directed to bring back the bylaw amendment to our next council meeting on the 21st. Okay, motion by Councillor Thompson, seconded by Councillor Carriot. There's no further discussion. We'll call that vote. All those in favor? And that's unanimous as well. Thank you, Councillor. I see Ioannoni at home as well. 7.4, Gateway Community Improvement Plan and Municipal Employment Incentive Program application. There are 4 recommendations for Council's consideration. Okay, motion by Councillor Strange, seconded by Councillor Pietrangelo If there's no further discussion, we'll call the vote. All those in favor? Okay, thank you for that. Item 7.5, we've got 5 recommendations, revitalization grant application under the historic Drummondville CIP program. Motion to move the 5 recommendations by Councillor Thompson, seconded by Councillor Campbell. If there's no discussion to that, we'll call the vote. All those in favor? And that's approved unanimously as well. Thank you to all councillors. See, we're getting through. We're figuring this system out here. Item 7.6, exemption request to the 2-year waiting period for minor variance for properties 5510. Okay, so to these properties on Stanley Avenue, there is a recommendation which is being moved by Councillor Thompson, seconded by Councillor Strange. If there's no discussion to that, we'll call the vote. All those in favor, and that's unanimous as well. Thank you to all. Now we move on to resolutions. Mr. Clerk, am I right?
Yes, Your Worship, this resolution is pertaining to the report that was just passed moments ago.
Okay. Okay, moved again by Councillor Thompson, seconded by Councillor Lococo, that we pass the resolution. All those in favor? Okay, and that's unanimous. Thank you. And then, okay. Motion by Councillor Pietrangelo, seconded by Councillor Dabrowski, that we move the consent agenda. Does anyone have anything that needs to be lifted? Okay, seeing nothing, we will call the vote. All those in favor? Okay, and that's approved unanimously. Thank you for that. Now we move on to 10, communications and comments of the city clerk. The first issue we have is from Niagara Regional Police regarding monitoring and enforcing provincial orders. In an effort to assist, Mr. Clerk, did you want to just give us an overview on that first report?
This first report, Your Worship, just really provides a little bit of background to what the CEO spoke about and you have spoken about already, about adding additional bylaw enforcement. So really this was just to give you a heads up about a bylaw that's appearing later on the agenda to name extra staff at parks and transit to work as bylaw enforcement officers.
So it's deputizing the extra to help the police. Okay, so we got a motion by Councillor Strange, seconded by Councillor Dabrowski. All those in favor? Okay, and that is unanimous. Thank you for that. Item 10.3, Township of North Dumfries resolution. There's a recommendation that we receive. Okay, motion by Councillor Thompson, second by Councillor Carriol, that we receive and file. We'll call a vote. All those in favor? Okay, and that's unanimous. Thank you. Item 10.4. 10.2 you missed? I missed 10.2? Oh, my apologies. 10.2, Niagara Regional, there's various correspondence. Recommendation that we receive the correspondence from the region. Moved by Councillor Lococo, seconded by Councillor Pietrangelo. All those in favor? That's unanimous, thank you. And back to 10.4, City of St. Catharines sent us notification regarding graffiti in their downtown. Motion by Councillor Campbell that we receive, second by Councillor Lococo. And you have a comment? Yes, Councillor Lococo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I know in our city we do have a lot of graffiti as well, and I was wondering, there's some cities, what they do is they put it on our website that you can report graffiti rather than us going around and trying to keep track of it. Some of the challenges are that they're on utility boxes as well, and that's not our property. So if we can get a list of all of them and then report those to the utilities, then maybe they will clean up the graffiti on their own boxes.
You know, that's great. And also I should point out, from those of you that may not be aware, our hydro company does have a program right now where they're wrapping the utility equipment. They've done it on Lundy's Lane and some other, and they're rolling this out, and it's great. It looks like street art, and it's very hard to put graffiti on it. So I know the one right out front of Freshco looks amazing. And I remember the first day I drove by, I thought, geez, does that ever look neat? And then I was there the next day to do the ribbon cutting. I realized what it was. So maybe that's great. We can add, if you're friendly to this, Councillor Campbell, that we have this funnel back to our staff and we'll report it back. Okay, that's great. That's a great idea. Okay, if there's no further discussion, we'll call the vote. All those in favor? Okay, and that's unanimous. Thank you. Item 10.6, our downtown BIA improvement area has made some has their budget that they'd like us to approve. Okay,
I move that.
motion by Councillor Campbell, second by Councillor Lococo, that we approve their budget. All those in favor? Okay, and that's unanimous, thank you. Oh, did I miss another one? Okay, sorry about that. I'm trying to look at the screens, I'm like, okay, sorry. 10.5, I know, excuses. Yeah, electronics can be really good when everybody's on it. I'll need somebody to hold my hand. I'm sorry, 10.5, correspondence from the city of Welland regarding their Out of the Cold program. They're looking for support. They'd like to also have an Out of the Cold program. They're looking for support for their resolution to ask the region to consider them for a possible year-round shelter. Okay, motion by Councillor Strange, second by Councillor Dabrowski. All those in favor? Okay, and is that unanimous? I didn't see, yes, that's unanimous, thank you. Okay, now, I'm 10.7, is that where I am now again? Yeah. Okay. Regional correspondence from the Canadian Coalition of Inclusive Municipalities. Recommendations that we refer this to staff. Moved by Councillor Carriot, seconded by Councillor Dabrowski, that we refer this to staff. All those in favor? Okay, and that's unanimous. 10.8, Provincial Day of Action on Litter. So a letter from Minister Jeff Urich, Minister of Environment and Conservation and Parks. Recommendation is, okay, that we received. Moved by Councillor Thompson, second by Councillor Campbell. All those in favor? Okay, and that's approved, thank you. Item 10.9, Blackburn Brewhouse. Mr. George Hatsiagalis of Blackburn is seeking a resolution from council for the purpose of applying for an AGCO by the glass liquor license.
I'll move that recommendation.
Okay, recommendation by Councillor Campbell, second by Councillor Strange, that we support the recommendation. All those in favor? Okay, and that's approved.
As long as it's for a buck of beer.
A buck of beer, okay. That was unanimous. 10.10, OPG Nuclear Waste Repository. So there's a letter. They're very happy that they have moved their original decision to dispose of the nuclear waste near the Great Lakes. So motion to receive by Councillor Thompson, second by Councillor Pietrangelo. All those in favor? Okay, thank you, that's approved. 10.11, proclamation request, Rett Syndrome Awareness Month in the City of Niagara Falls for October. Looking for a recommendation, support. Moved by Councillor Carriot, second by Councillor Pietrangelo. All those in favor? Okay, and that's approved, thank you. Item 10.12, we've got clerk's memo regarding code of conduct. Mr. Clerk, did you just want to quickly outline what this is and why it's here?
Yeah, my apologies. I sent out an email today. I did forget to include my memo on the updated agenda yesterday, so that was emailed out to council today. We just received a concern from a member of the public that there was a social media post about crowd gathering. She was explaining that she could easily identify that some of the people in the photo were family members of hers, and her concern was that the angle in which the photo was taken, it made it appear as if her daughters were not practicing social distancing. So she had some concerns, and then of course some concerns about councillors also commenting on that social media post. So the purpose of my memo is just to remind councillors. I know it's sometimes you can get very easily engaged in these media posts. It's a bit of a rabbit hole they can go down, but I just pointed out the pertinent points that are in council's code of conduct, to be respectful, not to harass, and be very careful with their comments, especially on social media. So the information is there just for the information of council.
Okay, thank you for that, Mr. Clerk. Councillor Carriot?
Thank you, Worship. I don't know who was involved in it. That's not really the point, but my question was, and it's been asked to me, does council have director's liability that covers their social media page? So I don't know if anyone can answer that, but...
Is that a Tiffany question, Mr. C.A.?
Pardon me?
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to...
Oh, no, I just wondered because someone has asked me in the past what that they had seen something on someone's social media page and was looking to proceed legally, but against that particular, whoever it was, but didn't want to do it if they were suing the city. So I couldn't answer the question. I said I would ask the question. If we have director's liability, that would cover, what do you call it, Facebook?
Social media?
Yeah, whatever that is, that they would like to know.
Mr.
Mr.
CAO?
Mayor, we can certainly follow up on it, but I think just the general rule of thumb is that you are covered while carrying out the duties of your role as councillor.
So would that be included, or?
Well, it depends on what the topic is. I mean, it depends what you're commenting on. It depends if it's part of the business of council. If it's something just out in the community that's not part of council business, you're basically a citizen at that point.
I think I'd like a reporter, just to know what it is. If it is, if it isn't, then maybe council would like to address it after it comes back.
You want to make a
Your
motion to
worship?
that effect? Yes, I'm
Just to
sorry.
that point,
Yeah.
I was taken before an integrity commissioner because of some work I was trying to do outside of council work, had nothing to do with city council. And I was found guilty because the integrity commissioner said that as a council member, you're 24/7. So I'd like some clarification on that as well.
Yeah, okay. So you want to make that motion, Councilor?
Sure, just to get a report back to see whether our director's liability, where it stops, where it starts, if that's covered, if the social media things that we do are covered or not.
Yep, no, that's great, and seconded by Councilor Campbell. We'll call the vote. All those in favor? Okay, and that's unanimous. Thank you for that. Item 1013, Municipal Heritage Committee. There's a recommendation. Councilor Campbell?
I'll recommend that, your worship, but I also would put my name forward. I know they don't have a council rep, and I saw that you were indicating that that was open.
Yes, through the chair, I did put that forward a few weeks ago. I know we also have interest from Councillor Lococo.
Oh, that's fine, if you've got it. Oh, that's
So
good.
if that's amenable to you, then
Yeah, I just
know-
thought it was still not taken. That's great.
I will bring back a report at a future council meeting where we can make some further updates to committees of council.
Okay.
Okay, so what did
I'll
we
pass
just?
the
Okay,
motion.
so do you want to make the motion then, Councilor? Or, so what is the motion?
The motion is that we approve and include Councillor Lococo as part of that direction.
And you're agreeable to that, Councilor? Yep.
Would, through the chair, would that motion also be supporting the two individuals as in the memo
Yes.
from Peggy Boyle for the 2 additional appointments to the Municipal Heritage Committee?
Absolutely.
Okay. I don't know if you want to make maybe someone else want to make the second? Yeah, Councillor Strange? Okay. Okay, that's great. So we'll call the vote. All those in favor? That's unanimous? All right, thank you for that. And thank you for the clarification. 10.14, Lundy's Lane BIA. Okay, moving that we approve their constitution and their budget. Moved by Councillor Pietrangelo, second by Councillor Strange. All those in favor? Okay, and that's approved, thank you. Item 10.15, the Downtown BIA is requesting approval to appoint 3 new board members for their Downtown BIA. So, okay, moved by Councillor Strange, Councillor Thompson, sorry, second by Councillor Lococo. If there's no discussion to that, call the vote. All those in favor? Okay, and that's unanimous. Thank you.
Bylaws be given for second and third reading.
Motion by Councillor Pietrangelo, second by Councillor Dabrowski, that the bylaws be given a first, second, and third reading. All those in favor? Okay, and that's approved unanimously. Mr. Clerk?
Yeah, that's.
There's no additional,
No additional bylaws, but based on the in-camera session earlier, there would be one item to ratify.
okay?
So I'll do that now. It's just that council agrees to the purchase of 6.5 acres of land in the Montrose Business Park for a purchase price of $227,500.
I'll move ratification.
Okay, moved by Councillor Pietrangelo, second by Councillor Thompson. All those in favor? Excellent. Looking for motion for adjournment, Councillor Pietrangelo, second by Councillor Dabrowski. All in favor? And we are adjourned. Thank you, council. Wash your hands, keep your distance, stay home, crush the curve. Thank you. Stay safe.